rise and join me in salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act. The notice of this meeting has been published by the clerk in both the Courier Post and the newspapers. Also, a copy of the annual meeting notice has been posted on the bulletin board outside the Township Clerk's office. I'm obligated by the order of the Fire Marshal to advise if there's a no smoking policy in this building. Please take notice of the emergency exits from the room. Finally, you should be aware that this meeting is being videotaped and will be shown later on channel 19 and 38. We will now be swearing in Committeeman Jason Rabbits by Donna Platt.
Usually store plans that over. I know.
Repeat after me. I state your name.
Jason Rabbits.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of
That I will
the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially and justly
that I will impartially and justly
perform all duties
perform all duties
of the office of Voorhees Township Committee
of the office of Voorhees Township Committee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you and congratulations.
We will now swear in Committeewoman Michelle Lucido by Michael Watson.
Place your right hand on the phone. Raise your right hand. Ready? Repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Michelle Macedo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of the office of Township Committeewoman
of the office of Township Committeewoman
of the Township of Voorhees
of the Township of Voorhees
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations to you.
D, roll call for the full committee.
Mr. Friedman?
Here.
Mr. Platt?
Here.
Mr. McDonough?
Here.
Mr. Rabbits?
Here.
Ms. Nocito? Here.
And now ask for nominations for the mayor of Voorhees Township. Position of the mayor.
Motion to nominate Michael Mignota.
Second.
Move to close nominations.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call vote for the nomination, mayor.
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Platt?
Yes.
Mr. McDonough?
Yes.
Mr. Rabbits?
Yes.
Ms. Nocito?
Yes.
Mayor McDonough will now be sworn in by his brother Stephen McDonough.
Right hand up, you ready? I, Michael R. McDonough,
I, Michael R. McDonough,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially and justly perform
that I will impartially and justly perform
all of the duties
all the duties
of the office of mayor of the Township of Voorhees
of the office of mayor of the Township of Voorhees
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Settle in.
To my fellow committee members, our honored guests here this evening, friends and family, thank you so much, first of all, for being here on this very special evening. Congratulations to my friends and colleagues, Jason Rabbits and Michelle Nocito, for being reelected and being sworn in this evening. Proud to work with them. And I thank my colleagues here on Township Committee and you for once again giving me the privilege and the honor of serving as your mayor of Voorhees Township. It is not something I have ever taken lightly. I take it very seriously, and I will work very hard to be your representative, but to also be the ambassador of Voorhees Township. So thank you. As we move forward into 2019, I'd just like to take a few moments to talk about some of the highlights and some of the things that happened here in Voorhees Township in 2018. First and foremost, the building and the complex that we're in, the Voorhees Town Center. We have been basically, this town center has been owned for all intents and purposes by an absentee landlord for the past few years. They have not been a good partner with Voorhees Township or with our residents. So this Township Committee came up with ways to encourage them to either move forward or to sell. We established a business improvement district that gave us leverage over them and gave us a taxing power over them. We also took steps to give us the ability to declare for condemnation and take this property. Thankfully, we didn't have to do that because in the last few weeks, they signed an agreement of sale with Brandywine Financial to sell this complex. We've met with Brandywine Financial on several occasions. We're very excited about them becoming a partner with us and with the community to bring back this destination, to bring back restaurants, to bring back retail, some residential, entertainment, possibly an aquarium, possibly a library. There's an extensive conceptual plan that we're going to be going over the next few weeks. And this plan will not just be between the Township Committee and the Zoning Board and the Planning Board and Brandywine Financial, but it will involve the residents. So we look forward to move forward with this process and again make this a hub of activity, as I like to say, the heartbeat of our community. The virtual medical complex continues to thrive and be the anchor of our medical mile. They continue to draw jobs and business and tax revenue to our township. We've continued to work hard as a township committee to maintain our infrastructure, to make sure our 110 miles of roads are safe and efficient. We've tried to make Voorhees much more walkable and much more bikeable by installing new bike paths, new sidewalks. Along Summerdale Road near Osage School, we installed sidewalks and a pedestrian crosswalk to make sure that our students and our families have safe passage to and from Osage School. We started our multi-year sewer pipe replacement, and we're using a brand new sewer camera to catch these problems early and fix them early. We've continued to make our parks and athletic fields the best in South Jersey with new lighting at the Myrota complex and improving handicap parking at Kirkwood Park. We've worked environmentally to make sure that Voorhees is green. Well, I'm proud of our Environmental Commission, who this year had their second Green Fair. They've maintained their silver certification from Sustainable Jersey. We've worked with the residents of Kirkwood Lake to make sure that that lake is cleaned by the federal government, and we're hoping that this is finally the year that there will be some dredging done at that lake. We've continued our use of compressed natural gas trucks and single stream recycling. I'm proud to say that in Voorhees Township, we recycled approximately 3,000 tons of trash in 2018, saving approximately $204,000 in tipping fees. One of our most important functions is to make sure our families are safe, and we want to give our police department and our fire department the resources that they need to keep us safe. As to our fire department, we put 2 new fire trucks in operation. We organized the shifts to make sure there's career firefighters on duty 24/7. We hired 3 new career firefighters. We hired 20 new EMTs. We added a 3rd ambulance squad during peak hours, and our fire department now has its own webpage. As to our police department, we hired 2 new police officers that brings our total to 57 officers on the street. We've continued our program of a police officer in every school all day, every day, and our officers continue to have body cameras for their protection and the protection of our residents. We're proud of our community programs through our police department and fire department, particularly our 5th Junior Police Academy and our 3rd Adult Police Academy that happened this year. As we all know, unfortunately, there's an opioid crisis in our area, in Camden County and in South Jersey. We've taken steps in partnership with our schools and our police department to fight that opioid crisis. We again had our Steered Straight program. We had our LEAD program at Voorhees Middle School. We instituted a program and a course called Not Even Once, where 11th and 12th graders in Eastern High School take a course to give them the tools to learn how to deal with drug problems and to make the right choices. This Township Committee earmarked $100,000 in our budget to raise awareness of the opioid crisis and to educate our community. I'm proud of our fire department and our police department for the things they do in the community. Another successful National Night Out, another successful police car show raising money for our police foundation, another successful holiday fund where they made Christmas for underprivileged families a better day. Santa on the fire truck was another home run this year, and our Voorhees Saves Lives program continues to thrive. Since this program was instituted, we've provided thousands of safe ride homes from Voorhees bars and restaurants to Voorhees residents. Our DUI arrests in Voorhees Township have decreased by 20% since this program was instituted, and the one statistic that cannot be quantified is the number of lives that this program has saved since its institution. I'm very proud of that program. We've worked to keep our local government accessible, transparent. Our meetings continue to be televised. We always are improving our township website. We have approximately 3,200 followers on our Facebook page. Our township app has been downloaded by about 8,000 members. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Nixle. Our popular community events continued to thrive this year with our 15th summer concert series and tributes to Billy Joel, the Beach Boys, and Springsteen. They also included beer gardens and food trucks. they've become quite popular. Another successful Halloween festival, another successful Santa parade, and this year we formed the Voorhees Arts Council, and we opened the Voorhees Arts Center right here in the town center. The arts are alive in Voorhees Township. The Township Committee worked hard on what's our toughest annual challenge, which is stabilizing taxes, but continuing to provide the services that this community has come to expect and deserve. We continue to use our sidearm trash and recycling pickup to better use our manpower. We've engaged in sensible shared services programs. We've engaged a company and a partnership that allows us to buy energy directly from a source, saving approximately $125,000 a year for our township. Our compressed natural gas trucks save approximately $35,000 a year in costs. In 2018, Voorhees Township received $1.5 million in grants. I'm very proud of that. Because of those facts, because of the shared services, because of sensible spending, this past year in our budget, there was no increase in the local municipal tax. It's important to generate new business as part of a thriving community. Our Shop Voorhees program, which gives tax credits for people who shop in our town with Voorhees businesses, has continued to thrive with 32 businesses and 3,000 households involved. We had our home-based business and small business networking forum. In 2018, 34 new businesses opened in Voorhees Township, including Dooney's Pub, Aldi Market, and Cheers Wine and Spirits. I'm proud to say that in 2018, South Jersey Magazine named Voorhees as one of the top towns in which to live in South Jersey. But we look forward to a successful 2019. This Township Committee will continue to work hard to control spending, to do more with less, to make sure we have a thriving business community, to make sure our Shop Voorhees program works. Our Royal Farms will be opening, and the facelift of Eagle Plaza is done. We're going to expand our shared services agreements with only sensible shared services programs. We'll continue to make our medical mile thrive, and Virtua has reached an agreement with Penn to build a $35 million proton cancer center at the medical mile facility. We'll work with our new partners, the Brandywine Financial, to make sure that this again becomes a destination place in the downtown that we know it can be. We'll work to continue to maintain our infrastructure, our parks, and our fields. We've applied for $1 million in grants. We're putting a new traffic signal at the intersection of Echelon Road and Voorhees Town Boulevard right here. We're doing sewer upgrades in the Elm Tree section, sidewalk expansion at Lions Lake, and we're upgrading the tennis courts at Round Hill Park. We're putting new playground equipment and benches at Kirkwood Park, bike path extension at Crescent Road, and we're buying our seniors a new CNG bus. We're going to continue our partnership with the St. Joseph's Carpenter Society to rehab and sell our abandoned properties in town. We'll give our police and fire department the resources they need to protect not only our residents, but to protect themselves. It's very important that we keep our firefighters and our police officers and first responders safe. We'll continue with a police officer in every school. We've partnered with the schools with an initiative called Social Sentinel Alert Service. A company will monitor public social media to watch out for any threats or any security issues to cut them off before they happen. We're instituting in partnership with Camden County the SAVE program in partnership and then with our municipal courts to identify people who have drug issues to take care of those issues before they become too much of a problem for them. We're very proud of that program. And we'll continue with our community events, including our summer concert in the series, and we're actually considering this year, some of you may or may not remember, but we may have a drive-in movie night at Connolly Park. I remember drive-in movies. I hope you guys do too. As I say every year, in addition to the governmental things I like to talk about, I always just like to take a moment to talk about some of the special people that are here in Voorhees Township and the special families and the special causes that we're so lucky to have. Families like the Mulford family, whose daughter Brooke was diagnosed with cancer when she was 4 years old. For 8 years she battled cancer, and during that battle she started Brooke's Toy Closet that supplies toys for kids in the hospital who are sick. Unfortunately, Brooke passed in 2017 at the age of 12, but her family has carried on that tradition and that passion. And along with Committeewoman Nacito, this past October, we are part of the grand opening of Brooke's Toy Closet at our own virtual Voorhees Hospital. Families like the Lemanowitz family, whose daughter Kara died suddenly in 2015 at the age of 14. Kara had two passions, kids and sports. Her family started a foundation called Smiles from Kara to raise money to give underprivileged kids and special needs kids the opportunity to play sports. Families like the Gunthers and the Di Natales, who continue to carry on the passions of their loved ones who passed on. Groups like our GVA baseball team, who on a cold, rainy December morning collected over 400 toys for underprivileged kids this past December, made me very proud. Some personal memories of 2018. I've always wanted to play for the Phillies, and I still hold out hope that maybe someday that'll happen. But on the morning of April 14th at the GVAA grand opening and GVAA parade, I was honored to have the PA announcer for the Phillies, Dan Baker, actually announce me. So that's as close as I'm probably going to come to playing for the Phillies, but it's something I was able to cross off my bucket list. On the evening of November 6th, I was honored to be part of the retirement dinner for my friend Ray Brosel, who dedicated over 4 decades to making sure our kids received a great education and make sure that they were safe. I was there when he cried, literally, and was speechless when he found out they were renaming the Voorhees Middle School Theater the Raymond J. Brosel Performing Arts Center. I enjoyed cheering on our Eastern soccer team to the state championship, and once again cheering on our field hockey team, not only to the state championship, but to becoming #1 in the country. Our Santa parade and Santa truck put smiles on thousands of faces of kids, including my 24-year-old daughter and my 4-year-old son. How about that, huh? In October, many of you coming in, I hope, noticed our Veterans Wall. We added 14 names of heroes to that wall this past October, bringing the total to 397. And on the evening of October 28th, I was so proud of our community at Congregation Bethel, people of all faiths, all religions, all races came together for a vigil and to pay tribute to the victims of the Tree of Life Synagogue. It was quite a moving experience, and 3 nights later, that same group and many of our community packed Catelli Duo and raised over $10,000 for that synagogue. It made me very proud because Voorhees is stronger than hate and always will be. There's some people I'd like to thank here this evening. Thank you to the Township employees who helped make this community run smoothly. They don't get enough credit too often. Thank you to our professionals. I was told that I should surround myself with people that are much smarter than myself, and I've tried to do that. Thank you to our many volunteers on our boards and commissions and committees who give us their most valuable asset, which is their time. Thanks to my brother Steve for being here to swear me in again, and my niece Alexis, who is here. Thank you for coming this evening. Thank you to my lovely lady Katie, who has been a pillar of strength in what was a little bit of a challenging year, but thank you. Thanks to my son Matt for holding the Bible. Congratulations, he got engaged. So I'm gaining another daughter. I hope I don't have to pay for her college too. My little guy, William, is either going to kill me or extend my life. Yesterday, as I was stroking out over the Eagles and trying to put my remarks together for tonight, he was running around with his helmet on and said to me, "Daddy, you want to have a catch?" And it kind of put all things in perspective and made me feel pretty good. My daughter Marie, as many of you know, left for London last week. She's going to spend 2 years in London to extend her career. And I saw this quote that many of you will appreciate, those of you who have kids in college or a little older. And the quote is that a boat is always safe in the harbor, but that's not what a boat was built for. And what I can say is that Marie was not built to be in the harbor or to be at home. She was built for adventure. My daughter Kelly continues to balance a career with being a wonderful mommy to my granddaughter Lucy. As I say every year, I do this, and we all do this for our families, our kids, and our grandchildren. And I hope that we make you proud in what we do. So on behalf of the rest of the Township Committee, I want to thank you for being here and wish you a very happy and healthy New Year. Our next order of business is public portion for resolutions. If there's anyone from the public with any questions or comments on any of our resolutions, please come forward.
Seeing no one coming forward, move to close public portion.
I'll come forward.
Okay.
Do you know my name? Elise Panett, 130 Forest Hills Drive, Voorhees. I have a couple of questions, concerns regarding the appointment of co-deputy mayors. I don't understand the purpose. I don't understand why we did it. I don't understand why we're appointing Jason Ravitz as a co-deputy mayor when we all know what happened and the shame he brought to this town. To appoint him as deputy mayor is disrespectful.
Ms. Panett, why don't you speak into the microphone so we can hear?
Okay, just move a little closer.
And so this is recorded for posterity.
Can you hear me now? So my point was, I don't understand the co-deputy mayor appointment. I don't understand the need for 2 deputy mayors. In research that I've done in other townships, there is a mayor, there is a deputy mayor. The only reason that I can see for somebody being a co-deputy mayor is they refuse to step down. I don't know if that's the case, but there's no point to it. Absolutely no point whatsoever. And I'd like an explanation as to why we have 2 co-deputy mayors. We have... Okay. So I would just like an explanation as to why this is happening. It's a public forum, and you know it's my right to question your decisions.
Well, we've had two deputy mayors in the past for several years.
Right.
We had Committeeman Platt and former Committeeman Dean and Town were both deputy mayors. They both wanted to be deputy mayors. Our form of government allows more than 1 deputy mayor, so we made 2 deputy mayors.
Okay. Honestly, Jason, if you have a problem, I'm right here, and I'm the one asking the question, not Committeeman Friedman, okay? I ran for office against you. So I am not, I did, you're right, I lost, and it's a disgrace. But you know what, I'm not going to go away. I'm not going to stop questioning you because I lost.
For one night, if you would please be quiet for 1 second. For one night in this township, there is history of bipartisan, and none of this happens. None of this.
Yep.
And Mr. Friedman's quite aware of that.
It's, I guess
One night of the
time to change that.
One night of the year. There are children here.
Okay.
My kids, Michelle's kids. You're supposedly a mom.
Yep.
Then you should at least, you could come back next week or the week after whenever we have our next meeting.
The point is, you were appointed tonight, Jason.
After every political fight there is, even Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump,
There was a congratulations.
Okay.
God, something's still missing 2 months later.
I have a hard time congratulating a candidate that abuses his office with our police department to get him out of trouble when he starts a bar fight in our town.
Okay.
As deputy mayor, you are not representing our community in the manner that I, nor a lot of other citizens see fit. We didn't win, but people still feel the way that they feel, okay? So I have a right to voice that. I don't think you're fit to be a deputy mayor. Michelle, if you have something to say, say it to me. Don't write it on a piece of paper to him, because I'm right here. Okay? Okay. So I don't see, it's okay. I'm not a sore loser. You know, that's the thing, is that I am here because I am passionate about what we ran on and what we stood for. And what we stood for was for...
In 3 years, you can run against me and Michelle again.
Okay.
But for tonight, why don't you let our children enjoy tonight?
Okay. It's, you know what, Jason, it's okay. It doesn't bother me. They can say what they want. You can go behind closed doors. You can talk about me. You can do whatever you want to do. But I am still going to stand here and say, I think it's a bad decision for this committee to have him represent our township under the circumstances. You have 2 other committee people here that haven't even been given consideration. Harry and Mike, who attendance records are good, you know, no trouble with the law, no question, no blemishes on their record. So why not give those other 2 candidates a consideration instead of somebody that caused the outrage that he did with our police department last year? It doesn't make sense to me. So I'm sorry it upset you, Jason. I'm sorry it continues to upset you, but you did it.
I'm only upset because of that. Because my daughter's now crying in here because of you.
I'm sorry that she's crying. I'm sorry she's upset. But you know what? Ultimately, I'm not the one that did it. So if she needs to be upset with somebody, she should be upset with you.
She's in 7th grade.
Okay. It's old enough to understand that her father...
Look at her and her grandfather right now.
She doesn't care.
I don't. It's okay.
Look at her and her grandfather crying.
It's okay.
You're a disgraceful human being.
All right. Anyway, I would like you to reconsider your
And
stance.
your mom.
Yeah. And I am a mom with kids that don't get in trouble. So, you know, it's okay.
Any other comments regarding our resolutions? Anybody else?
So are we going to have an answer from the mayor about this? Or are we just going to let it go?
I said, yeah, I consider it. Do you want to speak, you have to come up and give your name.
Are you going to consider this
I said I would, sure.
regarding his being a deputy mayor?
I consider it.
We would rather have more mature and experienced people than somebody who's brand new to the committee.
I'm only one of 5 voters.
Yeah, so when are we going to hear about that?
Tonight?
Okay.
Excuse me, can I just get your name and address for the record?
Evelina Baines. 68 Bunny Park.
Thank you.
Respected committee members, my name is Kosha Shah, 1 Wise Lane in Voorhees. I am here to talk about the reappointment of Mr. Stuart Platt. I understand that he's been given a number of contracts in representing our township. And frankly, I'm disappointed. And why I'm disappointed is because of his lack of respect, his treatment towards the citizens of Voorhees. He's made a number of disparaging comments, not only to myself on social media, but other members of the township. And this is a person that is acting in a legal capacity who's supposed to be representing the good citizens of our town. So I'm disappointed. I would think that somebody that is going to be in this many appointed positions could show more respect. That person should be someone that should be held to a higher level of care, so to speak, in treatment towards the citizens. But someone that acts on social media by calling people names, who told me that I need to go back to 10th grade and re-educate myself, someone who is also, I'm a graduate of law school, I'm an attorney. It's disappointing. So I would hope that the committee would use more care and discretion in giving these contracts to people that will be more respectful to the citizens of Voorhees. Thank you.
Any other comment regarding any of our resolutions this evening?
Seeing no one coming up further, move to close public portion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public portion for resolutions is closed. Should we wait for Mr. Adams to get back in here? Okay, good. Why don't we continue then? All right, our next resolution is resolution number 1-19, appointments by the mayor. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 2-19, appointment of deputy mayors. And after considering my decision, I will make a motion for Jason Ravitz and Michelle Macedo to be deputy mayors of Voorhees Township. Do I have a second?
Second your decision.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Friedman?
Nay.
Mr. Platt?
Yes.
Mr. Ravitz?
Yes.
Mr. Nacito? Ms. Nacito? Yes. Mayor Mignona?
Yes, so carried. Committeeman Ravitz will be sworn in by Congressman Donald Norcross. Eric Risa, Esquire, will swear Mr. Ravitz in.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jason Ravitz,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
and justly
perform all the duties
of the office of
Deputy Mayor of the Voorhees Township Committee according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you.
Take the other one. Take the other mic. Just pull that. Pull that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one, that one. I first want to thank my supporters, my friends that have stayed by my side for the past year. You know who you are. I would like to thank my supporters in Voorhees Township, many of whom are here, my colleagues on the planning board, Subash, Vaughn, Kelly Jo, Mario, even you, Rakesh. I don't think there's anybody else here from the planning board, but Stella, I'm looking right, Stella, who I sit two down from, with Kelly Jo and Stella on my side, steering me to the right way. I would like to thank Michelle, congratulations on Deputy Mayor, and her husband Jason and her children, who unfortunately I don't think are here to see her become Deputy Mayor. Could be the first woman in Voorhees to become the Deputy Mayor, and they're not here to see it, which is a sin. But I shouldn't be surprised because I was not going to say anything tonight. Except I was going to donate half my township paycheck to the Jake's Place to be the first donor for Jake's Place. But and I encourage everyone, that's in addition to our family foundation, which already has made one, and will make another sizable donation as we made in Cherry Hill. I encourage everyone in town that has the means to follow my lead. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, as this is I took the lead on this project essentially. But it should not shock me that something like this would happen on a night that's typically bipartisan, nonpartisan, whatever you want to call it, because the tenor of politics in this country is a ridiculous joke. Anything can be said without respect, class, or anything. Anything goes. The kids can't watch, they run out of the room. That's not the way this country was supposed to be. That's not the way this country was. And my fear is that people taking the lead from our president, I suppose, and his gutter politics.
Stop. This has nothing to do
The fact that it has.
Excuse me. We will not have calling out from the public. If you would like to say something, we will have a public portion at the end. So I ask you respectfully to please do not call it.
The fact that his gutter politics made its way into local government is atrocious. I'm far from your typical Democrat. But it has, and if that's a new world we're going to live in, so be it. But 5 years more of this, 10 years more of this, and your children are not going to grow up in a world where there is any respect left. Imagine an election 10 years from now if this continues to happen. People will be dropping F-bombs at each other. What's the sticks and stones may break my bones, but you know, it didn't really bother me that people were on Facebook saying they weren't going to shop at ShopRite anymore because Jason Ravitz is a bad guy. I mean, been called names before, employ a lot of people. I got thick skin. But my kids don't deserve that live and in person. And yes, at the end of every political election in this country, people congratulate each other. That's what happens. As bad as it gets. But not in Voorhees anymore. You could say whatever you want about me, I'm not going anywhere. I got 3 more years left. Keep coming back, as they say. I want to thank Larry Spellman, our Township Administrator, Joe Lavallo, Head of Department of Public Works, Mario Di Natale, who deserves all the accolades and has been in my position before, and is worth every penny. because he was individually responsible for the sale of the ex-township property for $2.25 million, well above market value. And he was single-handedly responsible to the point where I told him, "You're not a realtor," for getting the project moving here with Brandywine. Dean Simonero, our CFO, who keeps building us a wonderful reserve in Voorhees Township that brings this township economic stability, and that we don't have to have referendums like towns in Medford to pick up the trash. Lou Bordy, our Chief of Police, Bill Donnelly, our Deputy Chief of Police, Mike Wharton, Cliff, from our Voorhees Township Fire Department. We have many stars in this township, and we won't let a few people jumping on me or jumping on Michelle rain on that parade. I want to thank Mike Mignona, our wonderful mayor. Is this your 14th year? 15th year for Mike. Mike was there many of nights and mornings to give me a pick-me-up when I needed. Mike went through the highs and lows of a good and a tough human year, and glad to call him a friend and glad to do anything I can to help him. And here's $20 for lunch from the VBA. Inside joke. I was always taught to look for big things to make an impact, not $20. But I'll cover you too the next time we go. Buy one, get one free. And I want to thank Harry Platt. Harry and I used to work together in other worlds, kind of, even though agency separates us. But Harry and I have been able to work together the last couple of years to get some really good things done, and we've twisted each other's arms a few times and changed each other's thinking. And Harry's been a good person for me to throw things off of, like telling me to stay quiet tonight. I'm sure he would have told me. But I will never apologize for defending my children. So I want to thank the people of Voorhees for overwhelmingly rejecting what was a god-awful campaign and overwhelmingly re-electing Michelle and I. And I want to congratulate Michelle on probably the most stunning numbers in the history of this township. So I'm grateful to be back. I'm back for another 3 years, and I'm not going anywhere.
Before we swear in Michelle Macedo, I just want to recognize Assemblywoman, did she leave? Assemblywoman Pam Lamper was here left, and Congressman Donald Norcross was here left, so thank you for coming. And now we will have the swearing in of Michelle Macedo as Deputy Mayor by Gina LaPlata.
And with us or not.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Michelle Macedo,
I, Michelle Macedo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state, under the authority of the people. I do further solemnly swear that I will impartially and justly perform all the duties of the office of Deputy Mayor of the Township of Voorhees according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations. Thank you. Before I begin, I wanted to first extend my sincere appreciation to the two women who are here to swear me in tonight, Monica and Gina. When I thought about who I would ask to swear me in, it was an immediate and easy decision. I knew I wanted to have two women here tonight because our life experiences, although are different, we share similar roles. We're daughters, mothers, stepmothers, wives, and we're motivated by career and by our communities. For me, Monica represents everything that makes Voorhees the diverse community that I love so much. She's the daughter of a Jewish biracial couple. She's a working mother, a corporate attorney, and one of the most goal-oriented people I know. And more importantly, she's a huge Eagles fan. She juggles career and young children and her commitment to family and her community in a way that inspires me every day. I'm proud to call her a friend. And Gina is someone that I have admired for a long time. She represents the confidence and purpose-driven life that we can all stand to emulate. Gina has an accomplished career as an attorney and many years of experience working with government entities. In her role as the Director of State Affairs at Verizon, she has a deep understanding of the challenges that municipalities face each day. Yet somehow she's willingly stepped forward as a freeholder candidate in Burlington County, and I wish her the best of luck. Gina is also a 9/11 survivor, and though it's my understanding that she rarely talks about it, I wanted to mention it because it offers perspective. And despite the tremendous journey her life has taken her on, she reaches out each day and gives so much of herself to make New Jersey a better place, and I'm grateful for that. Both of these women are here with me tonight because I want the women of our community to be reminded that the path to equality is alive and thriving, as demonstrated here tonight, and demonstrated by your votes, and my opportunity to become the Deputy Mayor of Voorhees Township. I asked my mom to be here tonight because everything that I do would not be possible without her. She left with my children, which I think was a prudent decision. But she's the captain of the team behind me that keeps my household running, my children fed, my dogs alive, and many times probably my husband and I married. She gives so much of herself and she never complains. It's often at her own expense, just like many women do. She shows up and she gives and gives. You won't be surprised to hear that Jason and I faced some challenges in our campaign this time. We saw a side of politics that I didn't understand existed. But my mom was there throughout it all to make it possible. And I wanted to tell this story when she was here, but she's not, but I'm still going to tell it. I was so preoccupied during my campaign that one Friday my mom showed up at my house earlier than usual, and I said, "What are you doing here? Don't you have to work today?" And she said, "I settled on my house today." And I said, "What do you mean you settled on your house today?" And in that moment I realized that my mom's lifelong dream, since she was a single mother for the last 35 years, was to buy her own house. And she bought her own house during the campaign, but she didn't tell me because she thought I would be too busy and that I would want to help her, so she kept it to herself. And I can say that moment truly offered me perspective. Not only was I proud and I realized that I am who I am because of what she taught me, never to give up on your dream no matter what. She turned 60 years old in June and she bought her first house in November. But also that some of the things that I thought were really important and that I was focused on and really stressed out about, maybe they weren't didn't deserve as much of my attention, some of the negative things that I was focusing on, as my family. So I wanted to thank my mom and my children for being there. And also to let them know that they're never a burden. So hopefully they'll watch the playback of this and realize that. I share this story with you because I want my mom to know I'm proud of her strength and commitment, and to thank her for everything. Because everything I do each day is a work on the dreams that she taught me to dream, and the vision for my children's future and the children of this community. This story is important to me because I want the women, mothers, wives to know that we all struggle, but that our dreams and goals don't have to be sacrificed. We can work together, despite different opinions, to make our community a better place. We can volunteer together, and we can cultivate our hobbies, we can reinvent ourselves, and we can make this a place that we're all proud to live, even if we're on different sides of the aisle. I get to go to work every day in a township where I'm proud to make it a better place and serve the families of Voorhees. It's a place where the sense of community shines so bright in our sports organizations, our PFA organizations, our art community, and especially in our children. I also want to thank my husband, who is everything to me and takes a lot of very hard conversations and probably fits that I have and turns them into a positive, and he's always there for me. I know it was a rough year for us, and I truly appreciate you standing by me and everything that you do. I want to thank the township employees, my children, the voters of Voorhees, even the ones who didn't vote for me. At least you came out and participated in the process, and that's important. Thank you to my fellow committee members. Thank you to the mayor. Thank you for this opportunity. I won't let you down. And thank you to Jason Rabbits. As he mentioned, it was a rough campaign. And especially to the Rabbits children and the Rabbits family who do so much for this community and all of the communities surrounding Voorhees. And to Andrew and Jesse, I just want to say that one of my favorite quotes is, "Every brick they throw at you, you should collect and use to stand on." And Dee, thank you. Because you're a really important person that puts all these meetings together, and I don't think you get enough recognition. So it's another amazing woman in the room that I just wanted to say thank you to. So thank you, and Happy New Year, and go Eagles.
The next matter is the first reading of an ordinance of the Township of Voorhees, County of Camden, and State of New Jersey, adopting a redevelopment plan for Block 150.01, lots 1, 2, 5, and 5.01 on the official tax map of the Township of Voorhees in accordance with the requirements of the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1 et sec. Do I have a motion on the first reading of this ordinance?
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 3-19, our 2019 temporary budget. Do I have a motion on that? Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Platt?
Yes.
Mr. Rabbits?
Yes.
Ms. Lucido? Yes. Mayor McDonough?
Yes. So carried. Our next resolution is number 4-19, the appointment of Township Solicitor Wade Long, Wood and Long LLC, Howard Long, Christopher Long. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll say like I do every year, and I'll be voting for the selection again. I think that Howard and Chris are eminently qualified. They're good at their jobs, and most importantly, as a lawyer, they zealously advocate for their client, which is the township. So I have full confidence in voting for them. But as I do suggest every year, which I'm sure Howard loves to hear, is that I think we should take a look at paying positions like this on a flat fee basis. We would be able to save a significant amount of money and have some more certainty in terms of such costs.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Mr. Long, congratulations.
Mayor, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Our next resolution is number 5-19, the appointment of Township Auditor, Bowman and Company, CPA, PC, Daniel DeGangi. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 6-19, the appointment of our Township Engineer, Consulting and Municipal Engineers and Associates, CME, Douglas Romeyer. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 7-19, the appointment of broker for property and casualty insurance, Hardenberg Insurance Group, Richard Hardenberg. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 8-19, the appointment of broker for health insurance, HR&S Financial Services, LLC, Kurt Strommel. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 9-19, the appointment of specialized legal service, issuance of bonds, Parker McKay, PA. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 10-19, the appointment of our prosecutor, Donna Siegel Platt. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 11-19, the appointment of the Township Prosecutor as prosecutor of violations of the Township zoning, land use, and building codes, ordinances, and regulations over which she has jurisdiction. Donna Siegel Platt. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 12-19, the appointment of our public defender, Maury Cutler. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next is resolution number 13-19, the appointment of engineer consultants for the Environmental Commission, Consulting and Municipal Engineers and Associates, CME. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 14-19, the appointment of our Township Sewer Engineer, Churchill Engineers, Inc., Ben Blair. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Next is resolution number 15-19, the appointment of special COA attorney, Platt and Riso, PC, Stuart Platt. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
So carried. The next resolution is number 16-19, the appointment of architect of record, J.F. McKernan and Associates. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Next is resolution number 17-19, the appointment of conflict attorney,
Plat and Reso PC, Stewart Plat. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
So carried. Next resolution is number 18-19, the appointment of an independent registered municipal advisor, Phoenix Advisors LLC. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 19-19, the appointment of Class 1, 2, and 3 members to the Voorhees Township Planning Board. Class 1, Township Mayor. Class 2, Mario Vitale. Class 3, Jason Rabbit. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 20-19, the appointment of the mayor's designee for the Voorhees Township Planning Board, Andrew Schellenhammer. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 21-19, the appointment of members to the Voorhees Township Planning Board, Subhash Rashitwa, Stella Sitnik, David Kleinman, alternate 1, Andrew Bozowski, alternate 2, and Andrew Schellenhammer as the mayor's designee. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to welcome the two Andys to our planning board. We're glad to have both of them.
So carried. Our next resolution is number 22-19, the appointment of members to the Voorhees Township Zoning Board. Jeff Sanchez, Robert Wheel, Tony Bracco, alternate 1, and Ron Schwenke, alternate 2. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
And Mr. Mayor, I'd like to also welcome Ron Schwenke to our zoning board. We're in much better shape for having him.
So carried. Our next resolution is number 23-19, the appointment of members and staff to the Voorhees Township Environmental Commission. Edward Harrell, Chairman, Douglas Gaffney, Jeffrey Pike, Subhash Rashitwa, the Planning Board Representative, and Kendra Cornwall, the Secretary. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 24-19, the appointment of members to the Voorhees Township Business Development Committee. Andrew Schellenhammer, Neil Cooper-Smith, Scott Levy, Emily Morgan, Dr. Joseph Perno, and Michael Chirkus. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
It's a great group, and I'm ready to see them all back for the development.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 25-19, appointment of members to the Business Improvement District Advisory Board. Mario Vitale, Harry A. Platt, David Witham, Nina Mintz, Frank Ruzzieri, Amal Coley, and Jim Letts. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Our next resolution is number 26-19, appointment of members to the Voorhees Township Cultural and Diversity Committee, Josephine DeVera, Gwen DeVera, and Jatine Meda. Do I have a motion on that resolution?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Our next resolution is number 27-19, consent agenda, which includes resolutions number 28-19 through resolution 41-19 as set forth in our agenda. Do I have a motion for approval of our consent agenda?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Our next resolutions are number 42-19, adoption of the 2019 state contracts. Resolution number 43-19, authorizing agreement for extraordinary unspecified services for dental insurance. Resolution number 44-19, authorizing agreement for extraordinary unspecified services for life insurance. Resolution number 45-19, approval of the appointment of a crisis intervention team. Resolution number 46-19, recognizing the CERT Racist Team as an authorized service volunteer organization of the Township of Voorhees. Resolution number 47-19, appointment of the Voorhees Township Safety Committee. Stephanie Capone, Maria Lindebank, April Harrington, Kathleen Green, Patty Bowery, Lawrence Spellman, Joseph Lavallo, Chairman, Verl Tiger, Secretary, and Tony Marulo. Resolution number 48-19, authorizing the tax collector to cancel small balances. And resolution number 49-19, setting the cost of mailing tax sale notices. Do I have a motion on those resolutions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Next is our comments from our committee. Any comments from our committee this evening?
Mayor, I'll just say that, we did a lot of professional appointments today. In my 9 years, this is the fewest applicants for responses to RFP that I've ever seen. I could be wrong, Larry, but there was a scarcity of folks responding to RFP, and that's not really a good thing for the township. You want competition, you want quality, you want people responding to these things, and that's not a good thing for cost, and sometimes also for quality. So that was just one of my observations. Hopefully next year will be different.
Any other comments from our committee? Final portion is our public portion. Anyone from public have any comments, please come forward.
I have a couple comments. The first one, as far as what Committeeman Michael Friedman just referenced to, the lack of RFPs in this process is very upsetting. As a township, I'm going to quote the mayor in his speech. He talked about controlled spending. Okay? Controlled spending starts with this committee right here. You are all responsible for controlled spending. If we don't have enough RFPs to make good decisions for our township, where we're going to be overpaying on contracts, overpaying for solicitors by not paying flat fees, overpaying for, again, people on this committee that speak in a disrespectful manner to our community. It starts with your committee. You have to start and set the example that maybe we'll open the RFP process up again. Okay? If we didn't get enough bids, let's open it up again. Let's see if we can do better for our township. I think that's really where we need to start. If we don't have any competition, the only people who are paying for that and the people who suffer for that are the townspeople. Okay, so I say, again, to quote you, controlled spending, let's start right here. Controlled spending, again, starting here, what you had promised me at a previous meeting that you were going to adopt tonight something in place to say that we will have a policy that talks about tuition reimbursement. I didn't see anything of that nature, so I'm quite disappointed with that.
Well, I think
controlled spending.
We agreed to do that early in 2019, which we intend.
Okay, I mean, I asked you, that question flat out the last time I was here, and you told me it would be addressed tonight. It wasn't addressed again, so it's okay. I want to make sure it's addressed.
Thank you for reminding.
Yep, just a reminder, okay? And with that being said, again, talking about controlled spending and just, I'm just quoting you. This is, your words, right? There was an expense, I believe it was, I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, that you submitted with the township for $825.
Yes.
I'm still yet to get an answer from anyone in the township. What was that money for?
Well, as I explained to you when you questioned that last time.
No, this just came up on the last.
Yeah, well, I explained the process to you last time, and I'll explain it again.
Okay.
This township committee gets $3,000 per committee member for undocumented expenses.
Mm-hmm.
As the mayor or any other township committee who wants to document expenses that may be above that, those expenses are documented and we can be reimbursed for that. As I told you when we discussed this last time, as the mayor, I'm at many more events, I accumulate much more mileage. So I do have higher expenses than the other 4 committee members. And as I do every year, I submit to Mr. Spellman a breakdown of my expenses, my gas expenses, the trips I've made, everywhere I've gone, the events I've been to. And based on that, he and the CFO calculate those expenses, and I get reimbursed for them. And it happens every year.
Okay, and do we have receipts for those expenses? Because I've asked for an itemization of that $825. We haven't seen that, so I'm just curious. I would really like to see an itemization. If $3,000 is not enough of an expense account, then I think you should have an itemization of the first $3,000. Okay, and then anything above and beyond. If you know you're going to go over that $3,000, let's have an itemization for that, right? We're having a controlled spending talk.
Should we do that for all?
Sure, because has anybody else over the $3,000 put in for expenses other than yourself?
No, because I think it's fair to say, and I think all four other members of the committee will agree, that I am a lot more places and I accumulate a lot more expenses than they do.
And I'm not questioning the expense. Well, what I'm questioning is the legitimacy.
I think we'll take your comments until we'll regroup as a committee and come up with a plan going forward to address your concerns.
I think that's a good idea.
So next question.
So, okay, and again, just going back to the RFPs real quick, I think it's a little concerning that we have one representative, Stuart Platt, representing 5 different positions within our township. And I really, again, I'm reiterating, but I think we need to readdress this issue, open up the RFP process, and see if we can bring in more people, because one person servicing 5 separate positions within our township just seems like a lot. It's a lot of money that we spend out.
And I would assume that Mr. Friedman would agree, being that I know that Mr. Platt, Mr. Mignone, and Ms. Nacito agree with me already, that Stuart Platt's firm with Cheryl Lynn and Eric Risa, who's right there, they probably bring, and I've been on the planning board, I don't want to quote you because you might tell me I'm off a year at the next meeting, but I don't know, Harry, 5, 6, 7 years, 8 years, I don't know. But Stuart Platt's probably the best. Stuart Platt and Cheryl Lynn are probably 2 of the best planning and zoning attorneys that you will find in this state. And I think Mr. Friedman, getting back to that, since he referenced how good Howard and Chris are in terms of vehemently defending their client, which is the township, I would say that Stuart and Cheryl Lynn do the same thing. And what other boards are you talking about?
Okay, and I think, you know, just as you are defending Stuart Platt, I think, you know, because this is, look, we're talking about, I'm a sore loser, right? This is what I campaigned on. But just to bring it forward, okay, these are large contributors to your campaign. So just so we're clear that these are people that contributed to your campaign. They're they're part of this committee, they're part of our decision-making process, and you know, we would like more choices to be.
Elise, real quick. Last year, I believe, myself, Mr. Friedman, and Ms. Nacito essentially fired Remington and Vernick from the engineering position in the township. That is not a township employee. That is an outside RFP contractor. How long were they the engineer for? Guys?
Long time.
A long time. I believe that your campaign through a PAC and dark money took $5,200 from them to $10,000. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but if that doesn't sound like a deal kind of was made, and if you were to win, R&B would get their job back, and Mr. Freeman would flip his vote back, I don't know what. So let's look at ourselves.
Let's not speculate.
Let's just tell the truth then, Mike.
The facts are, Jason, right, that you are speculating.
You don't have to respect
the facts are that Platt sits on this.
Well, what about Remington and Vernick? You took money from them.
just threw some dark money that you probably don't know about.
I'm not on the committee, am I?
No.
So you're questioning what could have happened. I am saying what is happening.
You didn't think we know, huh?
Yeah, this is what happened, okay? So I am putting it out there.
Platinum and Solar are absolutely the best planning and zoning board attorneys and best COA attorneys in town.
Insult our community. And we had a woman who came up here, and Michelle, as a woman, you know, I know you stand on this platform that you are pro-woman. I also am pro-woman, okay? And I believe that any man that can talk to a woman in a derogatory manner, I'm talking about Stuart Platt.
Okay.
And if we'd like to group them, Howard Long can be in there as well, okay? But I'm specifically referring to Stuart Platt, okay? How he spoke
Are you referring to Ms. Shaw?
I sure am.
I would have heard Ms. Shaw's comments in committee, which I was very interested in hearing, but I did chase both my crying kids because of you, who's a mother, with the chief of police.
Ultimately, I think it deserves re-examination. You have had a member of our community stand up in front of this board. You know, here's the thing, ultimately. It doesn't matter what we say or what we do. You guys are going to do what you want to do. So I am asking you.
We were elected to do that, actually.
Well, you were elected to not listen to your constituents. So you're going to listen, but ultimately you're going to do whatever you want to do. This is a township, and when we come out in a public forum to speak to you, you should be taking everything that we're saying, because you know what? We're voters. And you might have won this time, but we're going to continue to spread this message that our township does not want to listen to our concerns. And our concerns are that there are people in this RFP process who have disrespected not just members of our community, but female members of our community. And we should be looking at those appointments a little bit closer. And I will leave it at that. Thank you.
Lisa Crowley Vandergriff, a lifelong resident of the town, married to a family that's here over 100 years. As a matter of fact, the majority of the people in this room, I'm sure their homes weren't even considered when we lived in this town. I've had enough. This is the second meeting that I attended that my husband begs me to attend, and this is the reason I do not attend. I witnessed so many things sitting in the audience. My mom taught me, and I'm going to look directly at you, never say never, because you never know. We have small children that grow up and make mistakes, and you have no idea. No idea. My oldest is 42, so it's not like I have a little kid. You never say never, you never know. I witnessed a child, in this room was a child. I witnessed it. I'd like to look at the video. He left with his mother or aunt or whoever it was. He laughed when children cried. He made the dirtiest look. And I learned this, you learn when you live. So I have a feeling that this town is so divided. I also learned one other thing. I made a big mistake several years ago. I did vote for the wrong person. And there's no way in hell that that woman has that information without it being fed to her. I have had enough. You will never see me attend, and I'm sure they're happy, but I will make sure the people in this town know exactly what's going on in this town. They are against each other. It's a disgrace. I have witnessed nothing but wonderful, wonderful accomplishments in this town my entire life. I had 6 brothers and sisters. 5 still live in this town and reside here in this town. I am sickened what I witnessed. Sickened, especially with children in the room. If she wanted to tear somebody apart, she should have picked the next meeting. The next meeting. And I know darn right well that information was fed to her. End of story.
I agree with you.
Jason Gonder, 38 Simsbury Drive. My question is for Committeeman Freeman. You dubbed yourself a watchdog, and did you take issue with the tuition for the CPM class for Michelle Macedo?
Did I take issue?
Yeah, I saw on Facebook and social media that you did.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it, Jason, until it came to light during a campaign, to be frank with you.
That's kind of ironic because on the bill list in May, you voted for it, which is kind of scary because either it's negligent or you're a hypocrite. It's right here.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you don't do.
It's a good deflection. It's a good deflection.
Good evening.
Mr. Mayor, if you would indulge me.
Name and address for the record, please, sir.
My name is Stephen Ravitz. I'm not a resident of Voorhees. I live in Philadelphia, but I've been a lifelong resident of South Jersey and Camden County. I would like to follow up with my son who donated half of his salary to Jake's Place, and I would like to make a pledge of $2,000 for Jake's Place in honor of my deceased mother and father. And I'll have a check to Jason.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations on your appointments. My name is Amy Felt, 4 Sandpiper Drive. First and foremost, congratulations. This is a new year, 2019. When we start new years, oftentimes it comes with resolutions. My hope for the town is more transparency. I brought that up at other meetings. And I just want to comment on some of the appeals and speeches that Jason made earlier in thanking nearly everyone, like it's the Golden Globes. However, you also mentioned bipartisanship when you probably mean non-partisanship. And I did not hear our dedicated committeeman, Mike Friedman, thanked among all of your other colleagues and associates. I just wanted to level the playing field. Thank you for listening. Have a good year, everyone.
Thank you, you too.
I'm Gwen De Vera. I live in Voorhees for 30 years. I've seen a lot of improvement for all these committees, the mayor, and all of them, and I never seen them disrespecting people. Ma'am, you said disrespecting. Ever since I came here in Voorhees, since 1988, they have been very nice and respect people, and I love them all. Thank you, Mayor, for a good job. Because when I first came in here, there's nothing in Voorhees. Believe me, there's nothing. But when the growth of the mayor here, I've seen a lot of improvement. Look at 73. See the business and everything there? They've done a good job. Thank you, Mayor, for making this Voorhees a better place to live. Thank you, Harry Clark. Thank you, our solicitor, Howard Law. I called him the Attorney General. He is best. And Jason, you're better than that Supreme Court because he was the one doing a sexual assault and you did not, okay? And I commend you for doing a good job. Michelle, thank you for being our liaison to our cultural diversity. And Mr. Spellman, you're doing a very good job in the township. And thank you for everybody. My Friedman, please do a good job too, because for me, I do a lot of community service in the community. And I never say anything bad to all of you. And the police, thank you very much, because since my husband died, all your police come and check me. I make sure that I am okay. And thank you for being with me. And I commend Voorhees is a better place to live. I'm not that rich to be staying here, but I like the environment and my area, and nobody bothers me. Thank you again.
I'll entertain a motion to close public portion. Anyone else like to share?
I just have some questions. I think she already has my name. One was, you're talking about controlled spending. I have heard that all this cleanup of leaf stuff is always done on weekends, so they can make 1.5 times their salary. That's what I've heard. So why is that not done during the week and only electing on Saturdays? And who is in charge of development of Voorhees, because there's still empty centers, and even Eagle Plaza, a lot of people have left there. So who is the enterprise person?
Eagle Plaza.
And Gennardi Center. Who is the economic development person? Voorhees? Okay, so what is he doing?
I think he's done a lot. He's spearheaded the mall redevelopment.
I think that's me.
Hold up, let me talk.
Yes, okay. Let me finish also, so you know which ones. The mall has only gone downhill, so you can't say he's done anything for the mall.
We have a redevelopment.
Okay.
But for this kind of a mall. The Eagle Plaza was in front of the planning board 9 months ago, and their intention was to let these smaller tenants go and to bring in national, higher rent, better credit tenants, and that's it. And we're not the landlord. We don't own the property. We're not in the business.
Understand.
So that's that. As for, I'm not using that word. As for the that shopping center on Whitehorse Road across from Target that DDR owns, they're a big gigantic REIT. They were approached to see if they'd have interest in changing use or whatnot. It is just too big to be on their radar, and we can't make the move. There's only so much. I mean, I read the Facebook business stuff.
I don't use Facebook, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, there's people in here that are on there, either side of the fence. And the township not being in any type of, let's say, empowerment zone, any type of Grow New Jersey zone, has limited ways to, everyone wants us to attract business.
Yes.
And wants to know why Marlton on 73 and 70 was able to, for instance, we tried to get Honeygrove. They're going to go to Main and that's 73 and 70. You can't change the Gennardi Center, or next to Panera, which I thought would be good locations.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you believe me, not believe me about Mario. Mario's worked his tail off to do a lot of good things here. To get $2.25 million for that property, the old Township Municipal location with no broker, that piece of property probably was worth up 1.5 at the most.
I don't know, when you all first vacated that, and that's before your time here, at that time we were told that was worth $9 million. That was $9 million in 2007, 2008.
So we can't, like they promised, that money's being used to pay down that debt, and the township has a significant surplus, and hopefully we can turn some things, or we can, in conjunction with Brandywine Financial, can turn some things around here to make this property more valuable, to bring higher ratables, but at the least to protect this ratable.
And the cleanup crew, was somebody going to address that?
I'm not.
What is the cost of weekend operations?
I don't know.
Our director's here tonight, Mr. Laval, with Landon's Landing, but I think your information might be inaccurate. But if you want to address that,
okay. Jill left. The leaf issues, when the leaves come down, you got to pick them up. We have about 6 weeks to 2 months, depending on the weather. And if we don't pick them up, the roads are blocked. We do have 7 trucks out all day, but to get all the leaves in town, we're a very tree-lined community, which is great. We need to work on Saturdays. So we're out there on Saturdays during October, but November, December, for sure. And luckily for us this year, the weather's been good. But when we get snow in December, we're picking the leaves up with a backhoe.
Yeah, but if we're trying to control spending, we should see if it can be done during the week. Are you saying, do you pay extra or you don't pay extra? Because then it doesn't matter.
It's time and a half on Saturday.
Yeah, so then they should look to do it.
And we only have 7 trucks. So we have full crews out. We use labor-ready people.
But I think that's something that should be looked at, and how it can be accommodated Monday through Friday. I think you should take that under consideration. No, you're saying Saturdays.
No, also Saturdays.
It's on Saturdays and Sundays.
We'll take a look at it.
Anybody else? Well, I will make a motion to close public portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public portion is closed. We are adjourned. Go Eagles.